I really want to do some shows on some ancient aliens, but I want to do some more reading on the subject because I find that super interesting.
I watched it a few times, and my basic theory is I believe aliens are out there, but there's too many people with too many different theories to try to wrap my head around it anymore.
Yeah, you know, for Christmas, I actually, my wife got me a telescope, and it's not like one of those telescopes you get at Walmart. She got me the like Orion SkyQuest thing, so it's got a big old tube on it and everything. So I mean, it's not super high end. It wasn't super pricey, but it was definitely an upgrade because we had purchased one of those smaller ones, and the only thing we could see really was the moon with it. And so I used to hate science, and I was never interested in it. And then, you know, I started watching some of these shows on the planets and everything. And then you go out there, and in school we always, you know, saw pictures of the planets and you watch movies about it, but it always looks like it's computer generated. But if you get a high power telescope and you look at that stuff, and you see how real it is, it really just sets it home just how vast and how unbelievable space is out there. And so that really got me interested in science and space and the possibilities. And then whenever you grew up hearing, you know, aliens and UFOs and all this stuff, that's all crazy talk. But then when you start looking back at history and you realize, you know, UFOs didn't just start happening whenever people started flying in planes or traveling in air balloons. This has been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and we have, you know, people writing down history talking about UFOs. And when you look at all that, and then you look at scientists nowadays and NASA who say, you know, all you have to do is look at statistics, and statistics tell you that there are other planets in the Earth zone. There are thousands, millions of them, whatever, and the probability is that if we're here, you bet you that there are tons of other places that have life on them. And I think you're just arrogant and naive if you really think that we are the only intelligent beings in the entire universe. And so, and if you look at intelligent beings and you look at what scientists are saying, and they're saying that Earth is relatively new when you look at the cosmos and the whole spectrum, and then you say, well, if other planets had intelligent life and they had millions of years upon us, look how far we've come in just the last 100 years. If they had an extra million years of technology ahead of what we do, you know that they're traveling to distant galaxies and going and using these wormholes and things that we're just now beginning to somewhat understand, and we still don't have a good, you know, clue on what's going on. So, you know, I think it's just unbelievable what's out there. And when you sit back and you really take it all in and you look at your daily life and where you're going, and you know, you're complaining about your boss and your girlfriend, you know, is flirting with your best friend, and you take it and you stand back and you look at the world from a totally different perspective, man, it really changes your whole point of view. And life for me personally, I mean, it made me a lot happier person. It's like, you know what? My problems are small.
Yep. I agree. You know, we're just a very small percentage of the pie in the larger world. I wish we could explore everything out there. I really do, but we won't have that technology for probably another 300 years.
Oh yeah, I mean, we think we're intelligent because we look back at, you know, our recent heritage and we say, how in the world did they live back then, you know? And nobody had time for entertainment. People didn't have time to just sit and learn things. People didn't have time to, you know, play around on video games. You had to work for everything, for your survival. People had to, their whole job daily was to survive. And then, you know, as technology advances and it becomes easier on us to survive, then we can focus on entertainment and knowledge. And so when people are going to look back at us and we're ancestors to somebody, they're going to look back on us and say, man, that was crazy how they did that back then, you know? And you would have thought, as smart as they thought they were, that why were they still doing this? Just like we look back and think, you know, what were we doing, you know, 60 years ago with all this craziness in the country, and what you were doing and being racist and all this other mess. So people are going to look back at us and think we're stupid, just like we look back at other people and think they were stupid.